Saturday night, looks like for Sunday too. Sunday's high at 90. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. For News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
The Jim Rome Show, where fans become clones.
My beef is when someone says, have a good one, after we are done talking to each other. What should I have a good one of?
The Jim Rome Show on WSJS.
A cheeseburger? An unexpected wrestling match with my wife? How about when our conversation is done, we just tell each other goodbye and go our separate ways?
Fast takes, sharp wit, nonstop sports. The Jim Rome Show, tonight at 8 on WSJS.
Every day, vehicles suffer from unexpected accidents, but with expert care, they can be restored to their former glory. At Pat's Body Shop and Towing on Country Club Road in Winston-Salem, your vehicle's recovery is their mission. From major restorations to minor repairs, they handle it all, working with all insurance companies for a seamless process. Remember, you have the choice. Let Pat's bring your vehicle back to life. Visit pats-bodyshop.com and trust the experts at Pat's Body Shop and Towing.
At Springwell Network, they believe possibility is limitless. Every step is progress. Every achievement, a triumph. Innovation is their core. The possibility is the spirit that drives Springwell Network. A steadfast commitment from their first service to their latest initiative, empowering adults with disabilities. Let them blossom in a nurturing environment. Springwell Network, where growth begins. Visit springwellnetwork.org.
Good morning, Triad, and welcome to the Daily Pulse with Steamin' Back.
Now you see me, now you don't want to talk, but I bet you won't.
Your front row seat to the voices, issues, and energy driving the Triad.
Let me calm down. Let me take it easy on, take it easy on.
Get ready to dive into the stories that matter most, the headlines shaping your day, the conversations everyone's having, and the local perspective you won't hear anywhere else.
Hold up, wait, breathe.
The Daily Pulse starts now on WSJS.
Would you risk your life for a few minutes of thrill? I know some would. Easy choice, because people jump out of planes, skydiving every day. But would you, if there's clear evidence of multiple failures? Welcome in the Daily Pulse here with you on WSJS. Stephen Beck, of course, at Stephen Beck TO, at WSJS Radio. And we're live on YouTube this morning. You can find the feed there on those social media handles as well. Our phone lines, 336-777-1600. Happy to have you join us again this morning. Got tons to get to, including Jaden Cordell, who's a driver out at Bowman Gray. He's in the Street Stock Series. Cool story with him is that he's only 15 years old. I found out why as well. He only drinks lukewarm water before race day, which is just is kind of a crazy aside. But we'll share that with you here coming up. Actually, next segment. Excited to have him with us before Saturday night. Plus, we have our Pulse picks to recap in the World Cup yesterday. It is the ACC kickoff media days getting set for the college football season, and a lot of conversation around a couple of ACC quarterbacks, one in particular that we'll discuss a little bit of. And then a little bit later, it is by far the funniest DMV story you're bound to hear, really. Most things with the DMV, gloom and doom. Not funny at all. A lot of upset, angry people, long lines. Quite frankly, hospitality, customer service, not really their forte. But one lady in Florida, I think she got a gift. And one of my, well, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. It is a great episode of Seinfeld. It's way ahead of its time, again, correlating back to this. So excited to have you with us. Stay with us throughout the episode. Get our podcast if you miss anything. It's up at WSJS.com afterwards. But let's get everybody started right now with the latest headlines.
Pulse Check. It's what's happening right now.
State employees for North Carolina now facing added medical costs. State employees and retirees enrolled in the state health plan are expected to pay additional costs when receiving care, at least through Wake Med. The Atlantic Coast Conference, we're going to talk about their kickoff media days, but they've revised their football title game selection process following controversy, that is, after Duke lost 5 times last year, still advanced over higher-ranked Miami. More details out on that. You just do a Google search. You can read all the different elements to that new plan. In High Point, there's a neighborhood fighting back. They want to preserve a historic name. Hundreds of residents are petitioning against renaming a public housing community named in honor of a prominent Black religious leader in the city's history. And in Winston-Salem, a road closed following a crash. The 800 block of Hawthorne Road was closed after a vehicle struck a utility pole. Police saying no serious injuries reported, but repairs were affecting traffic this morning. Yeah, you don't want to crash. That's never good. Not for anybody. So divert away from that area if you have other reports, 336-777-1600. But you also don't want to crash while you're just out for a nice family fun day at an amusement park, and this is all too familiar. Again, Carowinds. Big amusement park here in the state. It borders right there at, South Carolina, Charlotte, surrounding areas. They've had to come out, close Fury 325, a coaster there, again, after maintenance crews discovered an issue involving part of the ride's foundation. They say that the issue was identified during just a routine maintenance inspection back on the 7th of this month, and they immediately removed Fury 325 out of service. They notified state amusement ride regulators. They began the repair process. What the park has not really explained here is what exactly is the foundation or footing that is affected and why they closed. Like how big, what severity is this problem really with Fury 325? And whether or not the issue involves concrete and anchoring hardware, maybe the soil under the ride is moving around. But this is now the second time in just a few years where this same coaster has had to be shut down. Back in 23, Fury 325 closed then because at that time, a park visitor recorded a video of a large crack on one of the coaster's steel support columns while the coaster was still fluidly moving people through the ride. So at that time, again, Carowinds had to come rushing in. They closed the ride down. They removed that cracked portion of the track, that column, and then the ride eventually reopened. It remained closed for about 6 weeks, reopening in August of that year. A 325-foot roller coaster. It goes a max speed of about 95 miles an hour. Big part of Carowinds. Unique part, I had already said how Carowinds borders right there at the NC-SC state lines. While you're on this roller coaster, you apparently cross over between North and South Carolina. $30 million, the original cost to get this thing built. And in 25, just last year, reportedly named the world's best steel coaster for the 9th consecutive year. So there's a lot of reasons why Carowinds would want to keep this thing going. I mean, you spent $30 million on it, to say the least, but for 9 straight times, people love it. It's great. But do you risk those moments of joy, of thrill, how many ever minutes it takes to cycle around this thing at almost 100 miles an hour? Do you risk your life for that? I say, fool me once, shame on me, right? Fool me twice, shame on you. I mean, how many times do people want to see a headline like this, particularly about this ride, and then go hopping right back on it like it was just a normal Sunday afternoon? I think you got to be almost nuts to do that. And I guess like some might quickly rebuff that remark or that sentiment and say, well, yeah, you had mentioned like skydiving, Steve, and there's people that they fail at that every day of the week. Or, hey, you could be walking down the road and get hit by a bus. Yeah, I get that. But if I've already seen a bus have trouble with its brakes in front of me, I'm not going to go hopping and jumping on that, expecting that the next time the driver slams on his brakes that everything's going to go hunky-dory. So here it's like evidence is there. Something isn't right with regards to the engineering of this particular ride, the track, how it, must move and shake and quake, where the foundation for the second straight time is a problem. And it's just like a few years in between each cycle. So I guess maybe the safest time to hop on the ride, I'll give this little bit of advice. If you want to be a thrill seeker and risk it all, go hop on maybe like a month, two, maybe a year after they get these fixes back under control and the ride's back open. But don't wait 2-3 years. Then you're really getting close again. Foundation's bound to have shifted and probably something creaking and cracking on it. So, hey, proceed with caution there. If that's not scary enough for you, I thought I would share one other North Carolina story. Brana, bana, 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 dana, 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 dana. Yeah, I know. That's my version of it. There's a big, huge, great white shark. His name's Contender, that just recently resurfaced near the Outer Banks this week. Massive great white shark. I mean, his name is Contender, by the way. So keep that in mind as well. Contender transmitted a new satellite signal after going several months without providing researchers exactly where his location was. The company is O-Search, and they've been trying to monitor this very large great white as much as they can, but it's eerie how he just kind of disappeared for a while. The last time that they had seen him, he was, here around North Carolina, around Cape Hatteras region. And now his last strong location of information, because signals kind of go up and down, I think, depending upon how, close to the surface that Contender is. But just recently, the signal picked and pinged back up. He's off of our coast. 13-foot, 9-inch long shark. Almost 1,700 pounds. You want to compare that a little bit and get out to the coast this week and go for a dip. That's as long as a compact car, like a Honda Civic. Roughly the weight of 2 large motorcycles, maybe comparable in weight, it says here, to a very large bull moose. And I don't know if anybody else caught bison in Yellowstone tossing that elderly man like a rag doll earlier this week. I'm sure Contender could do something very similar. They expect right now he's actually headed north, though. So that's our good news here in North Carolina. While people are risking lives for a Fury 325 roller coaster down south, Contender, the shark, he's actually headed north, they think, to Cape Cod, New England area. This time of the year, that's just their natural migration pattern. So a couple interesting things to get our morning started as we go to our break. Coming back, looking forward to be joined by a young man who's in his first season of street stock racing out at Bowman Gray Stadium, a night this weekend where they're looking for destruction. Demolition Derby time. Stay with us to hear Jaden Cordell's story next here on the Daily Pulse.
Westwood One Sports presents this World Soccer Update, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts, your professional parts people. It's heartbreak for fans of every World Cup team when hopes for a championship comes to an end. But for England, maybe more than the others, it's been 60 years since the only title and even cup final appearance. There was the feeling this was the year, especially when England scored. Still led Argentina 1-0, 85th minute. Defending champs keep coming back. 2 goals in 6 minutes to win 2-1. England's coach, Thomas Tuchel, was asked what he told his team.
Nothing what you say in the dressing room can take away the pain or the disappointment. Of course, we all know these moments. So I said, let's take it with respect. Let's digest it first, accept that we gave everything. That is a big part in a defeat. Did we do everything to arrive in this semi-final? Did we give everything? 100% we did.
This World Cup run for England ends as the ones in 1986 and 98 did, with a loss to Argentina. John Stashower, Westwood One Sports.
O'Reilly.
Help increase your vehicle's performance with Lucas Fuel Treatment at O'Reilly Auto Parts. A clean fuel system can increase performance and fuel economy. Simply add it to your tank at your next fill-up to eliminate carbon and varnish deposits. Get 2 bottles of Lucas Fuel Treatment for just $9 plus 2 times points at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Not all good news comes with a catch. Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. No strings, no gimmicks. Just dependable protection at a more affordable price. See? No catch. So if you're looking to up your savings, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North America.
Ahoy, mateys! Set sail with Sunnyside winds on WSJS and plunder a chest of great prizes. Don't walk the plank on this opportunity to win tickets to see Lionel Richie with Earth, Wind and Fire in Greensboro, Guns N' Roses, James Taylor, and Toto with the Romantics, and Christopher Cross. Or chart your course to even more loot by clicking on Win More. Drop anchor at WSJS.com to buried treasure.
You'll taste it and love it.
It's time for Foster Hobbs Coffee Roasters. Their specialty roasted beans offer pure, rich flavor, avoiding the plastic. Foster Hobbs Coffee Roasters, because your day deserves the best start. Get to their roastery for expert care and advice at 205 Neal Place in High Point. If you can't get to the store, shop online anytime.
You'll taste it and love it
at fosterhobbs.com.
Keeping you plugged in with the people, places, and pulse of the Triad every single day. This is the Daily Pulse with Stephen Beck.
Good morning. Back now on the Daily Pulse. Thanks for hanging with us this morning. Stephen Beck here with you on the News Talk and Sports Station, always WSJS. We always, in the summers, could look to Forsyth County. Big nights there had in Winston at Bowman Gray Stadium racing weekend. And really cool as we've been able to talk a little bit of racing a few times here this week with the big series headed to North Wilkesboro. Well, they start young. They start early. And so unique story is this young man joining us now to share how he's getting into street stock racing. Let's hear his story. Joining us now on the Daily Pulse on WSJS, Jaden Cordell, a driver out at Bowman Gray Racetrack there in Winston-Salem. A big night again coming up on Saturday night. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. I'm really excited about this weekend because I ain't never seen no monster trucks.
That is true. It's an interesting, unique event where you're taking the traditional racing and different divisions like you run in, Jaden, but then you've got a night where as much trouble as you're trying to steer clear of, the destruction zone and the cars that are in there for the demolition side, that's the complete opposite of what they're trying to accomplish. So far, Jaden, you're 15 and you're running this street stock race division. You've already won a race there out at Bowman Gray. How would you quantify your season going so far?
The car's been fantastic all year long. Really good car, super fast. But the luck, on the other hand, not too good. The pill drawing's not horrible. We've been pill drawing about mid-pack. So we've been starting anywhere around 8th to 12th. But this past week, before we even took the green, the third link broke, the drive shaft broke before we even took the green this past week. We're just getting the car shaken down. I mean, I'm lucky it happened lap 1 on this week and not the last lap 3 weeks ago. So that was fortunate enough. I feel like if we can get a little bit better luck, and with how fast the car is, I think we can put together a lot better races soon.
You're talking to a guy, Jaden Cordell, driver in the Street Stock Series out at Bowman Gray Racetrack there at the Madhouse. You're talking to a guy who is completely illiterate when it comes to anything automotive. Trying to work on cars, trying to fix things. That is most definitely not my forte. But when all that stuff that you just mentioned there, broke off, you're not even into the first lap. Is that stuff that you've gotten more comfortable with, where you can identify it, you and your team can get in the shop, and try to get working on it as fast as possible? And how comfortable do you feel even maybe getting your hands dirty and trying to fix things like that?
Well, I have one of the best crews there is. They know every single problem and how to fix every single thing. I've been trying to go to the shop as much as I can to learn. I still have quite a bit to learn on race cars. I've been running go-karts for 12 years. This is my first year around race cars, but I have a really good team behind me that knows every problem and knows how to fix everything.
You teed me up well there, Jaden. One of my next questions was going to be that you had started at 3 years old, I think it was, in those go-kart series style races. So before most people are hardly walking, you already got your hands behind a wheel. Was that something, again, that you just caught on to pretty easy? Does it run in your family? What's the history of getting behind the wheel so early?
Well, when I first got in the car when I was 3.5, I definitely was not the fastest thing. My dad, we'd go on the track Sundays, day after race day. And some days we'd be there for 10 minutes. Some days we'd be there for hours, making hundreds of laps. But I started out so slow to where my dad could just jog beside me on the racetrack.
Jaden Cordell, 15-year-old driver in the Street Stock Series race. You mentioned there, I think a few weeks ago, won a race out at Bowman Gray. This being your first season, as you mentioned there as well, around a race car as opposed to what you were doing early on. How did that first win? What were some of the moments that you felt? How did all that come to fruition for you?
I mean, it's very exciting. I knew going into the day, we've had a super fast car, like I've said, all year long. We field drawed 5th. My confidence was really high, and I'm just glad everything finally fell together.
One of the unique things that I read, Jaden, about your story is as you get ready for race day. I know every athlete that I've ever been around, talked to, there's traditions, there's unique things about them that make them feel the most comfortable going into whatever game they're about to face or practice they're going to get to next. And for you, what I had read, and I was curious if this was true, is that you just prefer a hearty glass of lukewarm water. Is that right?
Yeah, I wake up in the morning, drink room temperature water, do some push-ups, do that before I go to bed also, just room temperature glass water, and do some more push-ups.
Pretty simple when you make it sound that way, Jaden. Please give me the story of how that started, where it was just specific room temp water and then the push-ups.
Brad Smith, owner of Velocity. He's got me into this whole deal. I've known him since I was 5 years old. Todd Miller helped us know him. We've been good friends for a while. He told me when I was younger, I don't know when, maybe 9, 10, 11 years old, that he was going to put me in a race car when I was old enough. And he's just told me a few things that'll help me. He says, nobody believes how hot these cars get. I mean, they get super hot, and it kind of just conditions me for the race car heat.
Man, that's a good thought. Again, illiterate here. I didn't consider that being a way to prepare for that. So, man, that's some good hearty advice, I'd say, Jaden. What's your prediction for this Saturday night? I know it's another great night of racing out there.
Well, my predictions has actually been super close all year long. Like, before a pill draw, I always say, I'm a pill draw. And the furthest I've been away from where I've said is 2 spot difference. But my prediction this week is I'm a pill draw 7. And like I say every week, I'm hoping to win.
Perfect. Jaden, we appreciate you spending time with us here today, getting ready for that night of destruction. Hopefully for you, a night of winning in the Street Stock Series, and wish you all the luck.
Yeah, let's hope this weekend we look like late models and not demolition derbies.
USJS after the break.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd on WSJS.
I've had 2 opportunities to go to politics. My takeaway is it is a miserable life and even more repetitive than sports. Every night I get a new game. Every night I get a new narrative. And a war breaks out, you're on it for a year and a half. You and I get fresh games every night. But I thought to myself, I think it would wear me down, and I'm a happy guy.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Yes, I'm opinionated. I make you think, though, I hope, and react.
This afternoon at 5 on WSJS.
Uh-oh. Hear that creak? You know what I mean. Your garage door's groan signals trouble ahead. Ignoring it could lead to costly repairs or even accidents. But don't worry. Precision Garage Door has your back with their Safe and Sound package. Enjoy a 25-point safety inspection, performance tweaks, lubrication, and a detailed diagnostic report, all for just $79. Keep your garage smooth and secure. Visit PrecisionDoorNC.com today. That's PrecisionDoorNC.com.
Piedmont Triad area weather. Abundant sunshine coming our way for today, folks. And it's another scorcher. High temperature into the upper 90s. Clear tonight and for tomorrow, the overnight low 75 and our Friday high at 98. We're into the middle 90s on Saturday with plenty of sun, a stray thunderstorm by the afternoon, and then an increase of rounds of showers with thunderstorms coming our way Saturday night. Looks like for Sunday, too. Sunday's high at 90. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Naramore. For News Talk Sports for the Triad, WSJS.
In times of need, we turn to those we trust for a helping hand. If you're the one who needs support, Sunnyside Ministry is here for you. They follow Christ by providing hope through service, education, and empowerment. Whether you need financial assistance, a meal, or clothing, they're ready to help. Join them in serving Forsyth and Davidson counties. They accept both perishable and non-perishable food items and new and gently used clothing. Sunnyside Ministry. Together, we build a brighter tomorrow. Online at sunnysideministry.org.
Life can feel like you're lost in a storm with no shelter in sight. That's when Open Door Ministries of High Point steps in. They'll welcome you with open arms, providing food, housing, and hope. Their faith-based approach and compassionate care will help you regain your life. Thanks to their unwavering support, Open Door Ministries of High Point, open a new door.
When you're stuck in traffic again, at least you've got WSJS by your side. While others are scrolling past ads, your message rides with them. Our listeners aren't just hearing you, they're becoming customers. Whether they're commuting or relaxing, WSJS keeps you connected. Ready to turn ears into engagement? With us, your brand gets the airtime it deserves. Visit us at WSJS.com and click on Advertise with Us. Your audience is tuned in. Are you?
The Daily Pulse, the sound of the triad amplified. Your front row seat to the voices, issues, and energy driving the triad.
Break in my waist, I don't play with the fakes.
Back to the Daily Pulse with Stephen Beck.
Great morning to have you with us here on the Daily Pulse. Stephen Beck, of course, at Stephen Beck TO, at WSJS Radio on X. Follow there so you can see our video stream in the mornings when you get to the office or you're just hanging out at the house. It's a great way to follow us. Be sure to get over to WSJS.com as well. Look for the Sunny Side Wins, the More Wins banners there on the site. If you click through to that, you got a great shot at winning prizes all over the place. And honestly, best part about it is it's your choice of what prize you want to go after. You give us a little bit of information. If you haven't won in the past month or so, you got a great shot at winning free stuff. And also there on the site, you can catch our podcast if you miss anything each and every Monday through Friday morning from 9 to 10 for the Daily Pulse. It'll be podcasted there for you. And don't forget also, as we get close to the end of the week here, this Saturday, I'll be back with you again as well. Waking Up Proud 9 to 11, where got a ton of sports topics to get into. It is ACC kickoff media days that are happening right now. Main storylines, we'll talk about a few of those coming up in a second. Also, the Open Championship has teed off. That's at Royal Birkdale. Right now, Alex Smalley, through 17 holes, is your leader. He's 5 under par. Few guys sitting there like Sung J M at 4 under par, tied for second place. Rob McIntyre from right around that area in Europe, he's 3 under par. He's finished the day with Francesco Molinari. Scotty Scheffler also at 3 under par, a couple of strokes back, and we'll continue to try to update you with scores, but also you'll get our hourly updates from Westwood One if you stay with us here at WSJS as well. Let's get everybody their latest headlines for the morning.
1, 2, let's go.
There is a road closure in Winston-Salem. The 800 block of Hawthorne Road was closed after a vehicle struck a utility pole there. Police saying no serious injuries reported, but repairs have affected traffic there. Hundreds of residents in High Point petitioning because they want to preserve a historic name for their neighborhood. Those petitioners against renaming a public housing community named in honor of a prominent Black religious leader in the city's history. And Salem Parkway did reopen after a fallen tree in Winston-Salem due to some traffic stuff. Northbound lanes between South Stratford Road and Silas Creek Parkway reopened after crews removed a fallen tree that had blocked traffic early yesterday. And really the other major thing I would mention as well is that we now have found out the initial report of abuse at Tanglewood Park in Winston-Salem has changed details where the incident didn't actually even occur there at that park. You can get more information on that, I'm sure. Just do a Google search, and they continue to piece together details out of that case in Forsyth County. I love sports. As a kid, I got started really early, and it's awesome. You're a part of a team. You get to learn a lot of different unique things, practices. You get new friendships. Well, how about getting your kids involved with fall sports? Registration now open at the YMCA. From soccer and flag football to volleyball and more, there's a place for every young athlete to learn new skills, build confidence, have a lot of fun like I did. Register today and get ready for an exciting season of teamwork and growth together. You can do that at any of the 13 branches of the Northwest North Carolina YMCA or their website, ymcanwnc.org. I'll tell you one other thing I'm ready for that goes right there with fall sports, college football. Man, it's just, we're right there. And I know there's people that are, I'm already in football season right now. That's the World Cup. You remember when I was 4-0? That quickly changed in the semifinal round. Yeah, I missed the pick with France beating Spain. Spain, of course, beating France yesterday, or a couple days ago, I should say now, 2-0. Yesterday's game, also missed that pick. I was riding with England. I should have just stayed on my front porch and not given another look to this thing called soccer. I am going to be self-proclaimed in the finals picks for tomorrow, soccer savant. So believe me, I will come back from this defeat. But I picked England to beat Argentina, and yesterday, while it looked like there's a lot of conversation about this, England up 1-0 in the second half, and their coach makes a tactical decision to just draw everybody back. We're just going to load the box our own end and not even attempt to be offensive-minded, forward-moving, just sit back there and almost wait to see if Argentina can have a come-from-behind victory. Well, it wasn't the first time they've already had a come-from-behind victory. They were inches from losing and being out of this tournament. Question that. That's easy to do Monday morning quarterback here. But England loses to Argentina. That final's going to happen on Sunday. Tomorrow, look forward to my soccer savant pick. I promise we're going to make a comeback. I have a really good feeling about that finals pick. Yesterday, the football, though, that I cared about, they start the conversations around this time of the year at all these media days. The ACC kickoff happening as well. And a couple big, I'd say the biggest storylines from day one of the ACC kickoff here for you. The first is CJ Bailey, quarterback at NC State, returning to lead the Wolfpack again for a third straight season. This is uncharted waters, if you will, in this day and time of college sports. Transfer portal, NIL, it's much more likely that you're gonna pick up and move, find a new home at some point during your collegiate athletic career. And so far, CJ Bailey, it's not the case. He's been with NC State last year, threw for over 3,000 yards. What I like most about his stats are his completion rate. Even though, he's still developing as a quarterback, he's over 68% completions, 25 touchdowns last year, ran for another 6, 31 total touchdowns. Big comments from his coach yesterday, Dave Doran.
Play week 0, as you guys know, and it's right around the corner. This is such an incredible opportunity, for this football team. We're one of 2 schools in the ACC that can say they have a third-year starter at quarterback. And I think, as rare as it is to have a head coach for 14 years, it's just as rare now to have a quarterback for 3.
The other thing that Dave shared there yesterday, he thinks that CJ Bailey has the potential to be the best quarterback in college football. In all of college football. So, yeah, that would include Trinidad Chambliss or Arch Manning or Darian Mensah, who is another person we're going to talk about here. And honestly, he may not be way off. I kind of made a mental note of recent when Todd McShay used to do a lot of stuff for ESPN, getting ready for draft day and draft coverage in the NFL. And he was at the Peyton Manning Passing Academy and already had a very positive review of CJ Bailey being there, like saying he was the best quarterback that showed up for Peyton Manning's Passing Academy, and his mechanics, the ball was just jumping off of his hand. That was a huge get for the Wolfpack, who were 8-5 a year ago, about 500 in the ACC. I feel like that ACC record for Doeren, what did he just say? 14 for him with this quarterback. That would be well under what he needs to perform. Very underwhelming. But CBS Sports described CJ Bailey as one of the ACC's most compensated players. So NC State, they shelled out for him to stay in town, and they better make it count. They lost some big names. Hollywood Smothers, I mentioned Arch Manning. Well, he's hanging out with him in Austin. Noah Rogers, Terrell Anderson, both wide receivers, they moved on. Interesting to see how NC State performs, but CJ will help them. The other person that is playing the same position in the conference, I conversation around him a little bit yesterday, Darian Mensah. That was the Duke Blue Devil quarterback that helped lead them to the ACC conference championship game. And if he would have stayed in town, probably would have been in similar waters again this year for Duke, but he didn't. Unlike CJ Bailey, he picked up his money and ran. And what was funny yesterday, as Mario Cristobal, that's your Miami Hurricane coach that picked up Mensah in the transfer portal, the line he delivered that was about Mensah, saying, quote, "When Darian hit the portal, we thought he'd be a good fit." That is quite the spin from the PR department. When Darian hit the portal. Darian hit the portal. There was a lot of controversy around some tampering here between Miami's coaching staff and ripping him out of Durham that was eerily close to going to court before they just settled things out. So that's kind of funny little spin there, Mario, just trying to make it sound as if, oh yeah, it was all Mensah's decision to leave Duke, to get out of a contract he had signed multiple years for. And we were just so lucky, like finding a needle in a haystack. We just saw him there and we scooped him up. A couple of items there yesterday from the media sessions. We'll take our break here. We come back and it is a Seinfeld episode in real life here in so many different ways. If you're a Seinfeld fan, you're just going to love this, because I know I do. I'll share it with you. Stay with us. Coming back here on the Daily Pulse.
Ever wonder about the voices that make your drive to work more enjoyable? Dive deeper into the personalities you love with WSJS.com. Discover everything about your favorite hosts, from their bios to their podcasts. Missed the show? No worries. Catch up anytime with their podcast. WSJS.com. The voices you trust, the stories behind them. Connect with the faces behind the microphones today. Meet, listen, connect.
Biscuit King in High Point and Lexington serves enormous, delicious, award-winning biscuits. Made from scratch and filled up with whatever you like best. Today's special is a hot ham and cheese sandwich for only $3.49. Biscuit King. Delivery and online ordering available through BiscuitKingLex.com.
This hour of conversation is brought to you in part by Crossroads Ford in Kernersville, the Ford store that gives you more, just off I-40 on Highway 66.
Drive it, love it.
CrossroadsFordKernersville.com.
What's up, Foos? Main event Jay Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between matches, it's day one-ish. And that means it's Chumba time. With hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The daily boosts make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself? Let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
Hi, this is Todd Starnes. As we navigate through these challenging times, we all seek truth and understanding. Join me this afternoon at 12 noon for the Todd Starnes Show. Together, we'll explore the latest on politics, faith, and culture news, engaging with top newsmakers and your insightful calls.
Smooth talker.
Let WSJS be your trusted companion on this journey with the Todd Starnes Show, where your voice matters. See you at noon on WSJS and WSJS.com.
The Daily Pulse with Stephen Fack delivers the rhythm of the triad with news, perspective, and conversations that matter.
Bro, I'm yelling at you because Christian is running around the radio station and things are screaming off in here in the air. And we're getting close to maybe a Seinfeld episode here for you this morning. It's something really funny, man. This is like right down from Jerry himself, written and produced. I couldn't make this story up. So we'll share that with you in a second, though. But before we do, make some plans for lunch today. Ballsy Beulah's has a great deal for you. That all of their sandwich combos right now are 50% off. That's right, 50% off. Support local, savor the flavor. Ballsy Beulah's in Winston-Salem. For a limited time, you get 50% off any sandwich combo, like their crafted all-natural chicken sandwich, homemade pickles, Duke's mayo, all on a fresh Copain bakery bun. Tell me that doesn't sound good. You can taste that difference today. Mention this station. Use the promo code WSJS. You can order in person or online and still get the deal at Ballsy Beulah's, the name there. I'm trying to spit out at you. My mouth got all watery. Tasted so good. That's in Winston-Salem. We've been talking thrill rides, thrill seekers this morning. Anybody that really is wanting to stand outside in a lightning storm, if we have some summer thunderstorms throughout the next few days, which I think we will, with a golf club, hold it high up in the air and stand out in that, you're going to be somebody that would also probably eagerly hop on Fury 325 at Carowinds. If you haven't already heard, that ride shut down again in just a couple of years here because cracks, shifting, movements in the foundation. Well, the thrill for a 77-year-old Florida woman was that she got a new license plate. Normally, DMVs, everything is just doom, gloom. If you could get a DMV worker to crack a smile, yeah, go try to play the lottery. That is a lucky day right there. But this woman named Della Stritto received a new license plate all by happenstance. And the license plate lettering was SQZ A55. SQZ A55. Now, if it takes you a second, we're going to put up a video on our YouTube feed. It might even visually ring a bell true with you. But Della initially very upset that this is the plate she had received.
I don't think a woman that lives in a senior community that's going to be 77 years old next month will be driving around with what this plate has to say.
SQZ A55, her plate, not a vanity plate. Well, I'll tell you the first part. Squeeze we'll say behind is essentially what people are catching on with on this lettering. Family and friends, they love it. She lives in a retirement community in Florida, like many snowbirds do. Manager with the Broward County office of the DMV said the county would be happy to replace her plate considered offensive at no charge. She's now, though, she says, after her family and friends are encouraging her and joking around with it, she's considering keeping the plate, which I actually think, keep the plate, Della. Whatever you can do, that is one of a kind. Now, the Seinfeld correlation, I love this. Del Boca Vista, that was the retirement home that Jerry's parents lived in. And all they were worried about was like Jerry, I think, gave his parents a Cadillac at one point. They were so worried about what the community, the retirees would be saying about them down at the Del Boca Vista. This lady's the talk because her license plate is squeeze booty. If that's not enough for you, then there's Kramer, who he got a license plate just like this from New York. His was A55 man, and it ends up being a proctologist's license plate. Confusion there from New York. This story right here, man, you can't make this up. It might be the best thing that I've heard the whole week right here. Della Stritto, like, you're telling me a 77-year-old lady is going to be driving around with that plate? Yes, do that proudly. She, I think she also shared that at 77, she would take some honks. She would take some people that sees this plate. Beep, beep. I love that. Oh, man, we got a great day ahead again for you tomorrow here on the Daily Pulse. Plan on hearing those Soccer Savant return picks, latest scores for the Open Championship. We'll give those to you right now. Well, interesting enough, Alex Smalley dropped out of the lead. He double bogeyed 18 and drops down to 3 under now, tied with some big names at 3 under. Bryson DeChambeau, who's still in the course through 16 holes. Scotty Scheffler at 3 under as well through 16 holes. Those guys are playing together. Right now, your leaders are tied at 4 under par. Sung J M, one of those, and Daniel Brown, the other. Daniel from England. So I'm sure he's got, pumped up juices for being across the pond there. So we'll continue getting you those scores on tomorrow's show. And I'll be getting things revved up as well for this coming weekend. NASCAR short track again, North Wilkesboro, hoping to have a guest on who's going to be racing in that race. So join us tomorrow. We'll be back here 9 to 10 for you. Up next is Brian Kilmeade. Keep it with us throughout the day and have a good one on WSJS.